And we are live. Welcome, guys, to another episode of the Coin Vigilante Show. So today we have Flying Cryptos, a leading figure and technical analyst or trading or whatever on cryptocurrency and Litecoin. We have Flying Cryptos. Guys, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk a lot about where Litecoin is headed next. Okay, so from the trading analysis perspective to the fundamentals. So stick along. We're gonna talk about all this, but first. Flying Cryptos, welcome to the show, man.
How's it going, man?
Good, good. So, hey, I know you a little bit. I've run across you on Twitter, just watching some of your trading analysis, which is pretty accurate, I got to say. And it's particularly leaning towards Litecoin. So, we are going to talk about that. I want you to maybe even show us some charts. If you have, you can share the screen. But before that, I want you to talk about your story because everyone has a story when talking about cryptos. How did you get involved? Why Litecoin in specific that you're so interested in? What's going on with you?
So when I started trading in 2016. Well, I wasn't trading at the time. I was holding. I was just buying crypto at the time. So I wrote it up a little bit to all-time highs, and then I was like, you know what? This is good. I want to start trading. So what do? I start learning to trade while the market starts dumping.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I lost like 80% of it. So, yeah. So I had a rough entry into the crypto space. I just started trading from 2017 onward. I got better at it. And I kind of got to where I am today with trading, and I love trading. It's addicting. I find myself up till 3-4 in the morning, sometimes just trading, and I just can't turn the charts off. You know what I mean? Like, so anyway, I've been trading for a few years. I was like, you know what? I want to do something on Twitter because I've had a Twitter and a lot of people posting about crypto, talking about crypto on there. Has this like on crypto Twitter, community. And I wanted to do something on Twitter. And I'm looking at all the big accounts. They're covering all these different coins. I figured, what's a coin that I can go with that I like, Litecoin, that has a community around it. And when you look at Twitter and Litecoin, there's so many people on there that love Litecoin, and it's like one big family. So I wanted to stick with Litecoin, and I tried it a couple weeks ago. I said, when Litecoin's doing its thing and it's not trending on social media, maybe I'll cover some other coins. And I tried that, and I really come to find that everyone on Twitter, at least around me, around even you and Bitcoin, obviously, that community is just so close. So I stuck with Litecoin. I'm going to continue to stick with the Litecoin, and Litecoin is the first coin that I bought back in 2016.
Same.
So that's also part of it too. So that's how I got into crypto.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, I actually got into crypto, and I've talked about this before when my mom actually brought it up to me. She was like, dude, we got this digital money that you can transfer without anyone knowing that you're doing it. It's peer to peer. No one has to know. It's private, secured. So that's how I got in. And just like you and a lot of people, this is going to happen to them. I got in 2017 around September. So I rode the wave up. I was making, I was just 18 18, 19 years old. And I was like, man, I'm making fucking money. This is big here. And I never took profits. And then there came that bear market of 2018. And I basically almost lost everything. But anyway, I learned through it. I learned through all the waves. But, speaking of that, I want to talk a little bit about Litecoin and, the price right now. Because a lot of people have been really patient with Litecoin. A lot of people, even including myself, I hold it. I've bought a ton of it. I'm locked and loaded. So from your perspective, with everything that's happening, is it looking kind of like a 2017 type of pattern where Litecoin just goes crazy in November and then come December? Yeah. Or what are we looking at? And also, a lot of people are pissed off. And, it's fine. Some people can handle the patience. Some people can't. Ultimately, the patient are rewarded. I mean, are we going to think that Litecoin's going to breach its all-time high? So I'm a believer. I know it will. That's my conviction.
Absolutely.
So what do you think, though? And let me know when you want me to share your screen if you want to talk about that.
Let's share that screen right now. All right, so this is the Litecoin chart. This is the weekly chart right now, and just to mention, you mentioned earlier how I've been pretty accurate. Well, I'll tell you that I'm in a bloody position at the moment. So, but anyway, we had this little pullback here. Now, so I'm looking at the weekly chart right now. We have 4 days and an hour left before we close this weekly chart. Ideally, I would like to see us hold 232.55 on the weekly, so that way we can see if this previous high holds its support. Yeah. Or even better, a nice wick and nice push up to the top. But if we were to lose this level, we're probably going to be coming down and testing this yellow trend line down here, probably in like the 180s, high 170s. I would not like to see that at all. In my opinion, that'd be pretty bearish if we had a weekly close down there. But going to the monthly chart, because this is what I've been talking about for a while, LTC, BTC, we have this wedge pattern here that's been forming since the end of December 2017. And wow. It's been tight. It's been tightening ever since. You see how tight it's got. And we're starting to see a breakout here. We have 13 days left to the month. If we can close this candle and get back up here, that'd be a break of this pattern. And I'll also give you a price target too. Let's go back to the monthly chart.
It's so interesting too, because I've seen a lot of confluence with this, chart. I've looked at it, and I've even seen big players, big traders, even like Crypto Burb. One of the guys that also talks about it is Year of the Bull. Crypto. Yeah. I wish I knew what his name was, but this chart, guys. I mean, this is a multi-year pattern that has been forming.
It is, yeah, and typically for a pattern like this, to place your targets, you would take the point of where the pattern starts, measure it from the bottom to the top, and you just drag this over. And that's pretty much what your pattern would be. It'd be a 383% move. And of course, it can exceed that.
Yeah.
But that is like your baseline for a target. So as long as we get follow through on this break, I'd like to see some more volume through the next 13 days. Like I said, on the weekly, I would like to see that weekly hold.
And you know what? I don't want to interrupt, but this chart looks almost exactly, scarily, like it's scary similar to the Doge BTC chart, because if you compare them both, it's literally the exact same pattern. And then once it reached to that tipping point, that pinnacle, it just
the apex.
Exactly. And so yeah. I don't know what the catalyst is going to be that pushes Litecoin there. It could simply be cycles, in my opinion, and just that November, December, where it literally, I remember last cycle in 2017, it took 4 or 5 days for Litecoin to go from like, I don't know how much it was, like $80 to 420, something crazy. Yeah. So when Litecoin moves, it can be pretty fast.
Moves. Exactly.
So
that's the Litecoin chart.
What are we looking at here now?
I want to show you the LTC BTC chart on the daily. So actually, no, the 12-hour. This is what I'm watching short term. This potential bull flag setup. As long as we can close this in the next 50 minutes above that, if we lose this, we're probably going to be coming down testing this area here. This is where you see the most price action. I got 2 monitors here, and I'm using a laptop, so probably coming down between 34.19 and 37.46. If we were to go any lower than this, that'd be pretty bearish in my opinion. So I really would like to see this level hold, and that's what I'm watching for. And as far as the USD chart, I'm watching 220. our 207.87. This support right here. If we were to lose that, I'll probably close my swing position. But honestly, if you look at the lower time frames, we've been holding up pretty well right above 220 here. So as of right now, I'm not too worried about it. I'm staying patient.
I think we got Johnny Litecoin watching here.
What's up, Johnny?
Man? So if we look at this, because a lot of people are going to be looking at. Let me stop the share real quick so they can see us.
Mm-hmm.
If we're looking at this chart, I mean, a lot of people are wondering, okay, well, is it the right time to buy for me? What should I do? Here's what I would say, in my opinion, because I'm a trader too. I try to learn it here and there, but I've found that.
I'll tell you what. If you were to enter now, you'd be in a better position than me because I bought at 244.
Got it.
So I'm keeping my stop a little wide on here. If you were to enter here around 225, 220, that'd be great. You could set your stop below 207. I mean, we're talking a swing position, something that you're going to want to hold on to for a little while.
So what if we're talking? So to me, okay, so that's pretty good. I mean, I like that. But to me, and as I always say this, if you're just entering, or even if you don't want to worry about too much, the price going up and down, buy and hold. That's the easiest thing. And actually,
exactly.
That's been one of the most successful things for me. And you
can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong with that, and dollar cost average. And one of the things that's important, guys, is literally the news came out today. I think it was today that, President Biden and the government just signed a $1.3 trillion stimulus or something like that. So, if you look at the system right now, they're printing trillions of dollars out of thin air. They keep on doing it. Whether you support one party or another, the government is devaluing fiat currency as fast as they can possibly do it. And who benefits from this? The top 1%, the top 5% who hold assets, investable assets, real estate, all of these things. So they're not protecting your purchasing power. And you know what does? Litecoin and Bitcoin, because of their features, because of how they are made. It is due to their scarcity. It's due to because they're decentralized. No one can tamper with the supply. So that's what I would say. In my opinion, I would hold some. You don't have to go balls to the wall buying it. But to me, I think we're reaching a tipping point where things are going to start looking good. And we got to be patient. Literally, a couple of weeks ago, we were sub 100 or not sub 100, like close to $100 in Litecoin.
Yeah.
I mean, we've more than doubled in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. I mean, and like you go to the monthly chart and everyone's scared right now, but we've had a lot of upside on Litecoin. And I really truly believe that Litecoin's due for its move.
I do too. I think it's looking good. And you also, I mean, even just looking at patterns, I mean, just from that pattern right there that you see a multi-year cup and handle, you see a multi-year, and that, what was it, that MACD or RSI bullish divergence, that's multi-year.
Yes.
I mean, there are so many things that are building up for Litecoin. So that's the way I see it. What else do you see?
Well, we have this breakout of this flag right here on the weekly chart.
Look at that. Litecoin BTC. If you're not a buyer there, I don't know when people are going to buy. I mean,
actually, no, I'm sorry. No wonder this is looking messy. My log view is off. Here we go. That's cleaner for you.
Yeah.
So that's your weekly flag right there. We have this trend line here in yellow. Again, I would like to see 232.55 hold on the weekly chart. If we were to lose that yellow trend line, that's when I would start to get worried for Litecoin. But right now, we're still looking good.
Yeah, I think that to me looks like a breakout and then a retest. So to me, it looks good. I think here's the way I see it. I'm going to close that share. Guys, I mean, the way I see it is this. Even just leaving the trading aside, which we can keep talking about, is you got to look at the trend. You got to look at what's happening around the world. We are entering a digital era. Litecoin has been positioning itself behind the scenes to go and get worldwide adoption. And I tweeted this. I don't know if you saw or ran into my tweet. I tweeted this. One man pushed Dogecoin to the moon. The whole world is going to push Litecoin to the moon. And it's not because I wanted to. It's literally because the whole world is accepting Litecoin. We have PayPal accepting Litecoin. We have Venmo accepting Litecoin. We have dozens of millions of merchants that will be and that already can accept Litecoin. It is already worldwide and people use it. And what did we see today? I wish I was prepared and had the chart. Jay Milla, who is a marketing director at Litecoin Foundation, posted a tweet and they showed, Litecoin versus Ethereum in number of I don't know if it's active addresses or anything. Litecoin has been surpassing Ethereum's addresses for quite a while now. How insane is that? And you know what? With the amount of activity which Ethereum has right now, have you seen what the fees are? $90 a
gas fees.
Gas fees. Okay, now Litecoin is getting more activity right now. You know what the fees are? Pennies.
Yeah, that's
it's
nothing.
So I think people are not people are underestimating Litecoin, and people are going to realize and real quick and real fast before you can even enter a position that Litecoin offers actually solutions into what we have in this world. I mean, payment solutions, fees. When it's talking about all that, I mean,
I know a lot of the haters on Litecoin. And I'm sure it's still lingering in their minds, but they used to hit on Charlie Lee for selling his holdings.
Yep.
And I think that was a good decision because now you don't have to worry about this guy holding all this Litecoin, dumping it anytime in the future now. By removing himself financially from Litecoin, I actually think that's a benefit. And a lot of people saw that as Charlie Lee just trying to get away from Litecoin.
Right.
So I think we're in a better spot now than we've ever been as far as Litecoin goes.
I think so too. And, people are saying, Plus most important is closest tied to Bitcoin. That is a huge thing, guys. You know how hard it would be? I mean, because Litecoin runs on proof of work, just like Bitcoin. It is run by energy. It is backed by energy. It is backed by computing power. And because of that, it creates so much value because it's so hard to replicate a network like Litecoin, a network like Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin and Litecoin are going to be the strongest proof of work networks out there. And someone just posted, Ryan, thanks for watching, the Metcalfe effect with the active wallet addresses. So for those who don't know, if you combine Metcalfe's network effect or Metcalfe's law with the network effect of a growing network with a finite supply, by its own nature, you will see exponential growth in price because you have a growing network combined with Metcalfe's law in a supply crunch. You're going to see that. You see it with Bitcoin, you see it with Ethereum, which some people could say, well, Ethereum's not really, finite supply, whatever, but it's a growing network. And because of that, price increases by its own nature. Litecoin is going to see that too. And so that's the way I see it. And, what else have we got here? Who's saying here? Bitcoin has no competitor. Litecoin has no competitor. Every other coin has major competition. So many blockchains are trying to be the next Ethereum. And that's true. I mean, what do you think? To me, man, I think Litecoin is positioned for greatness, and people see it.
I'll tell you what. I mean, when you look at the inflation of the dollar, anyone out there that has money sitting in your savings account right now is not doing you any good. No. Every year you're losing what was it? Inflation this year, 6%? About?
Yeah, it's the highest I think over a decade.
Yeah. You're better off taking that money and investing it. Putting it in a Litecoin, putting it in the stock market,
real estate.
Do not let it sit in your savings account. If you have free money that you don't need anytime soon, invest it, guys. That's one piece of advice I can give.
And I remember that was one of my points early on when I was starting to, create a lot of content on Twitter. Is I did some research, and I don't, I can't promise that the numbers are perfectly correct, but the top 5 and top 1% of this country own more than 50% of all assets, whether that's real estate, commodities, stocks, even cryptos. What have we seen go up over the past 2 years in one of the worst economic crises ever recorded in history? What have we seen going up? Almost exponentially. The price of houses, it's pricing out the middle class, the lower class. What else? Stock market making all-time high week after week after week. Bitcoin making all-time high. So the bottom 50%, which is me and most people out there, own less than 10% of assets. Now, why have assets been increasing tremendously over the past couple of 2 years? Actually, it's been a trend for almost a decade. It's because the government has saved the top 1% and assets at the expense of the US dollar. By printing trillions and trillions of dollars away, they have benefited Wall Street over Main Street. If that doesn't piss you off, I don't know what does. And luckily, and this is why I do the show, luckily, we can inform people and tell them, there's a solution out there, Bitcoin and Litecoin. And a lot of people tell me, oh, yeah, whatever. Dude, it literally is. Have you seen? It's
true.
It is true. It's decentralized. No one can tamper with it. I mean, that's what gives value to these networks, too. A lot of people just think it's, people are getting into it just because of money going up, price going up. This is actually offering the solution, and people need to understand. People in El Salvador get it. People in South America get it, and they're actually the users of cryptocurrencies because that's where they have actually experienced what hyperinflation feels like. In the U.S., we haven't yet, but we're starting to feel that inflation hitting, and people are gonna want the whole Litecoin and Bitcoin. That's my 2 cents. I don't know what you think, man, but
no, I agree with everything you said. It was perfect.
I think we're gonna see good things coming up. So, what about are there any more charts you want to show? If not, we can show.
Oh yeah, that's right, guys.
We can
Litecoin Boy.
So we got a Litecoin Boy right here. So guys, I gotta say, this song that I'm about to show you, and you better watch all of it and keep watching this show. I could not stop singing the damn song Litecoin Boy. My fiance, Mrs. Vigilante, who is on Twitter, got pissed at me. She was like, "What? You gotta stop right now. This is getting out of control." And then all of a sudden, she started saying it. So really catchy. This dude is. This will go down in history as one of the best songs out there. So I'm gonna share the screen, turn that volume up, and let's listen to it.
Litecoin Boy, and I'm trying to make it. I'm a Litecoin Boy, yeah, I'm a Litecoin Boy, I'm a Litecoin Boy. I'ma get Kiwi wine, I'll keep that gun. I'm staring at the sun, I'm just out for days. I like the pool where I'm staying, they're like, you wanna be famous? Just try me out with the greatest. I'm a little Litecoin boy, I'm a little Litecoin boy. I put my best on, yeah. Don't wanna be a white one night, pull out at the top. Now it's about to drop. I'ma hop in my airplane. It's no jet plane. The Litecoin's gonna make me a fucking hurricane. Blasting by, never sell. Remember flying cryptos taught you well. Charlie Lee be looking up a shit. The guy is a legend and his Twitter is lit. Litecoin boy, I'm a Litecoin boy. I'ma land this plane so you can say we're all Litecoin boys. And we passed 1K. Litecoin boy, and I'm trying to make it. I'm a Litecoin boy, yeah, I'm a Litecoin boy, I'm a Litecoin boy. I'ma get Kiwi wine, I'll keep that gun. I'm just staring at the sun, I'm just out for gazing. I'm like, cool where I'm staying, they're like, you wanna be famous? Try me out with the greatest. I'm a little Litecoin boy. I'm a little Litecoin boy.
Too good. That's too good. Man, it's too good to be true, man. I don't know how you created that stuff.
Well, I don't know if you have TikTok, but You know, Island Boy, the original, right?
They actually kind of put me off, but yeah.
You know, yeah, so anyway, I kept seeing everyone do these spin-offs of it, so I was like, you know what, we need a Litecoin Boy. And I changed the lyrics a little bit. I had to throw that little bit piece in there with Charlie Lee, and
How long did it take you to make?
I made it in a few days. It
Yeah.
wasn't too bad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, taking videos. A lot of people think this is easy.
Oh no,
content
it's not
creating,
easy.
not easy.
We were out there in 40 degree weather all day long.
Yeah.
And we probably did a lot of takes. I don't know, you see that one scene where I'm backing up when I put my suit jacket on. I almost hit my head on the back.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Man, I was like, how the hell did he hit his head?
Yeah, so I got lucky there, but there's a lot of takes. There's a lot of takes that we messed up. I should probably post like a behind the scenes video or something.
You should. That some blooper or something. That would be fun. So, what do you say? Let's talk a little bit about I'm gonna just chill my own project for a little bit, and then you can also give feedback on what you think. So
the
watches. So guys, if you're watching, so we're gonna keep talking about what's next for Litecoin and you know the potential Litecoin has, which is a lot. I think Litecoin's gonna keep moving due to its fundamentals, due to its cycles, and due to what's happening. Look what we got here. Brief It Dance, what's going on? So she's actually Brief It Dance. I gotta give her a shout out. I don't know if you guys remember, but she created the Michael Saylor song. So you guys should do like a partnership.
Hey, that's awesome.
Where you guys can like make a song or something. So anyway, Brief It Dance. I'm a true believer that she jump started the bull run. Back when did we start moving? Is it last year of October or something like that? Well, anyway, she tweeted something and she put the Michael Saylor song, and right after that, Bitcoin skyrocketed to the moon, went from 10,000 to 20,000. So I always give her credit. I think she's the one that jump started the bull run. But anyway, she's one of the proud owners of the Bitcoin watch. So right now I'm wearing my Litecoin watch here. And
I can't wait to get mine, man.
You're gonna, October 10th, 2020. That's when she sent that moon. So anyway, the watches, guys, going back to what I talked about, the watches that I created, Bitcoin and Litecoin watch, which there's only gonna be 750 of. I made that decision. I think keeping them scarce, and unique is something huge, especially with Litecoin and Bitcoin. I mean, both of them are scarce. Bitcoin 21 million. So I wanted to make the watches scarce. So every watch out there that you buy, dude, you bought one too, is going to be unique, and you're going to have your own number. That's it. And so anyway, I had a light bulb moment a year ago, 2 years ago, actually, that connects to Bitcoin and Litecoin. So I just talked about this. The current system does not respect your time. And what does that mean? We work 9 to 5, right? You have your own job. I have my own job. All of us work, and we get paid in what? Dollars. Well, those dollars continue to get devalued year after year, month after month. We're seeing inflation, which inflation is a hidden tax that destroys the bottom 50%. It destroys everything that you're earning, that living wage. And so on the other hand, you have Bitcoin and Litecoin that does completely the opposite. Due to how they're made, and Bitcoin, let's say specifically 21 million, no one can mess with the supply. No one can just print a couple more million Bitcoin, devaluing your currency. That's not how it works. And so time and money, and people don't think about this, time is actually respected and protected with Bitcoin, with Litecoin. It's true. You can see it in the charts. The purchasing power, if you just hold Bitcoin, goes up over time, even if you just hold. We always try to hit like the perfect price, a perfect time to buy. Almost every buyer of Bitcoin has made money because it just recently reached all-time high. And so that's what I'm trying to say, guys. I made these watches. I created these watches to represent that. And there's only 750 of them. The campaign to buy your Bitcoin and Litecoin watch ended 5 days ago, but we're going to open the doors in December and January for the last 300 watches for people to buy. So you can still be part of the movement. But anyway, I just created those watches. Some people ask me, why the hell are you making watches? What's so special about them? Well, 228 people who bought the watches thought there was something special about them. And what I was trying to do is convey that message. To me, every person that wears this watch is going to be representing the movement. And I designed every detail of it. So I hope you buy them in about a month or two. What did you think? What did you think when I made the watches? Like, honestly, like you first ran into it where you're like, oh, look at that watch. Or, I mean, what was your thought? Because you bought one. So
Yeah, I did. I loved it. I mean, well, when I first scrolled past it, I was like, cool, Litecoin watch, Bitcoin watch. And then when you added a ton of value to that watch when you spoke about the meaning behind it. And it's true, with time and money, it made a sense. And that's when I bought it right after that. So I think as long as people understand that message, understand the real meaning behind these watches, I think they'll see the value and they'll want it. And you sold 230.
No, we sold, I believe, about 435 watches in a month, in 1 month. So a lot of people bought, a lot of people actually bought multiple.
Yeah. I mean, guys, that there's only what, 350,
300. Yeah. There's only 300 left.
And that's it.
And that's one of the things, you know, and I kind of want to also gear this podcast later on, you know, not now, but this has turned into a business. I mean, I have been dealing with a lot of things that I thought I would never deal with. And I want to be able to inspire people into actually pursuing that, because entrepreneurship is going to be one of the ways, side hustles. Yeah. Because the current system, you cannot longer, you know, buy a house, have a family with just one job.
It's hard to do that in America these days.
Exactly. And due to the system, which screws us. Unless you hold Bitcoin and Litecoin your whole life, you'll be able to make it. But for those who don't and those who want to make it, you got to find a side hustle and something that inspires you, and you got to go after it, man. Because that's what I did. A lot of people thought I was crazy for doing this. And I dropped out of my master's degree 2 years ago to actually start on these watches. And you know what? Funny enough, I was interviewed by my university just a couple weeks ago about my success with the watches. So it's funny, how ironic that I dropped out and then they want me back just to interview me about that. So, you know, it's pretty cool. And what I got to say is, if you build, because, you know, I'm not trying to hog this space with like my business. If you build your business based on Bitcoin and based on Litecoin, you're going to make it. The market's only growing. Look at what's out there. There's Bitcoin shirts. I bought this recently, Bitcoin branded. There's Bitcoin shirts. There's Litecoin ties. There's Litecoin socks. There's Bitcoin whatever. Build your business, whether it's content creation, whether it's charting, trading like you are with Litecoin and Bitcoin, whether it's making watches that are inspired by Bitcoin and Litecoin. You build your business or anything. You know, I'm talking right now like apparel and you know, things that you can wear. Build it with like payment processing, build it with anything. I truly believe it's the future, and I truly believe there's a market for it. That's what I got to say to everyone who's watching.
I just want everyone to know that's watching this video that I trade, but I also have a hodl position in Litecoin as well. So buy a Litecoin and hold it. Don't be afraid. I mean, if you're new to trading, I recommend paper trading. So don't actually buy and sell. Chart your chart. Set up your patterns, have a trading game plan, and see how it plays out. Paper trading is the best way to do it. And honestly, I wish that's something that I did early on. I mean, when I started trading, I just went right into it, and that's how I lost a lot of money, because it takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of losses in order to learn your lesson sometimes. Yeah. And you know, trading's a rough market. So.
Yeah, no, I got you, man. I do agree with that. And actually, exactly like you said, have a hodl position and then have a trading position, money to play with. And so, Craig, what's going on, man? So he likes the high quality Japanese movement. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And then he also, you know, I give shout outs too to people who support. He has a bespoke Bitcoin signet ring designed and produced. So another conversation started, you know, Bitcoin related, you know, check it out. So what else are people saying? LTC only up in 10 years. People will laugh at these prices. That's exactly what's happening, and what's happened with Bitcoin specifically, even Litecoin. Guys, Litecoin was $1 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Bitcoin was a couple $100 a couple of years ago. And the upside is going to be tremendous, especially as we move with the halvings, especially as we move with the current cycle, the current system that keeps printing trillions. People are only going to want to flock this system. So, all right, man, I want to ask you, do you have more charts that you want to show? And for those people that are watching kind of late here and got in the stream, if you want to show a little bit of that monthly chart or weekly chart again, just
Yeah, I'll do a recap on the weekly and the monthly.
just a cool one. Do you also have Bitcoin charts or just Litecoin?
I can pull up Bitcoin for a minute.
I don't want to put you. I don't want to put you in the spot. I just want to.
No, you're good. I kind of prepped a little bit of this before.
That's good.
So,
is it Bitcoin?
Yeah, this is Bitcoin right now. So we got our support at 59,852 on the weekly chart. Obviously, we would like to see this hold if we would see more upside on Bitcoin. I do think we're going to see more upside. I think, this cycle we're going to see $100,000 plus on Bitcoin. I know there's a few guys out there calling $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 Bitcoin. I'm a little bit more of a short-term guy as far as that goes. I like
conservative.
To be a little bit more conservative on my targets. Not saying that those guys are wrong. We could certainly see that happen, but getting into crypto in 2017 when I was new to this and I was buying and hodling, I'd watch YouTube videos I'd be looking for those headlines where it says, $100,000 Bitcoin. I mean, this is back in 2017, and you're sitting there and you're buying, you're riding it up, up to 20,000, and you're like, oh, let's send it. Everyone's all hyped up. Let's hit this $100,000, and then the market crashes, and you're waiting for it to bottom, and it just keeps going lower and lower. So I try not to throw out predictions that are too far into the future, because there's a lot of things that can happen. There's a lot of things that can happen. I mean, crypto changes every day. There can always be a new thing that hits the news. Whether it's government regulation, whether it's some sort of FUD. But yes, so I do think we'll see 100,000 plus on Bitcoin. I do think we'll see $1,000 Litecoin, and I'm not saying that is the top of my prediction. I just said that's my conservative prediction. But anyway, the Bitcoin weekly chart, I'd like to see this hold and bounce from here, and then a recap on the Litecoin chart.
So I got a question, and this is something that a lot of people think that once we lose that support line, that it's over. We're gonna go lower. We gotta realize, and sometimes I have to remind myself of that. It's a weekly chart, and there's a lot of price movement that happens there. So we can possibly wick down below that support line, and then just come right back on top, holding that trend.
Yeah. So perfect. Great thing to mention. So we have 4 days and an hour left on this weekly chart. There's nothing saying if we go back down to the daily here. Remember, we got 4 more days here that we could come down and tag 207.87, dip below that, and then wick right back up by the time the weekly closes in 4 days. So keep that in mind. That's what I'm watching for. I'm going to continue to hold my position unless we lose 207.87. If we were to lose 207.87, I'll be looking at a target down in the high 170s or low 180s. But I'm optimistic that we'll see 207.87 hold. Also mentioned on the daily here, this red line, that's the 20 EMA. We have 20 hours left on this daily candle. If that closes green, that'll signify that the 20 EMAs acting as support, as well as 232.55. So that's what I'm looking at with Litecoin. And guys, I post a lot on my Twitter page every day or two, a chart. So I'll continue to update as this happens, so that way you guys know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, buying exactly. So follow Flying Cryptos on Twitter, and his content's pretty good. So Flying Cryptos, that's his Twitter.
70% of the time, right?
yeah, it's fine. But again, good content creator too, buying opportunities. And guys, we're passionate about crypto, passionate about Litecoin, Bitcoin, particularly Bitcoin and Litecoin. At least me, because it brings opportunity. It brings freedom to people. That is what this whole movement is about. And soon, for the people who bought the watches, you'll be carrying that movement everywhere you go with your unique Litecoin or Bitcoin watch. We're going to open the doors again. I keep shilling it in December, maybe in January, for you to buy the remaining 200 watches. That's it. No more made after that, except other limited editions we create. So, dude, I had a fun time talking.
Awesome.
We're going to do it again.
Yeah.
We're going to do it again. But again, I'm going to bring you on. We're going to keep talking about Litecoin. Hopefully the next time we do, we're at all-time high.
We're over all-time high. Yeah.
So let's end it here, guys. I'm going to share the song again. And then we're going to wrap it up with that.
All right.
Let me see. Hold on. Where am I at here? Let's watch it again. It's too good. Ready? I keep singing this song all the time.
I'm singing in my head right now.
I'ma get kiwi wine now. Keep that gun. I'm staring at the sun. I'm just out for days. I like the pool where I'm staying. They're like, you wanna be famous? Just try me out with the greatest. I'm a little Litecoin boy. I'm a little Litecoin boy. I put my best on, yeah. Don't wanna be a white one man. Pull out at the top. Now it's about to drop. I'ma hop in my airplane. It's no jet plane, but Litecoin's gonna make me a fucking hurricane. Blasting by it, never sell. Remember flying cryptos taught you well. Charlie Lee be looking up his shit. The guy is a legend and his Twitter is lit. I'm a Litecoin boy. I'm a Litecoin boy. I'ma land this plane so you can say we're all Litecoin boys and we passing 1K. Cause I'm a Litecoin boy and I'm trying to make it. I'm a Litecoin boy. Yeah, I'm a Litecoin boy. I'm a Litecoin boy. I'ma get kiwi wine. I'ma keep that gun. I'm staring at the sun. I'm just out for gazing. I like the pool where I'm staying. They're like, you wanna be famous? Just tell me I'm with the greatest. I'm a little Litecoin boy.
All right. That's good enough for today. Too much Litecoin boy in my head.
Yeah,
right now.
I know. It is stuck in my head too. You know, make Charlie Lee's Twitter a little bit more lit if he retweeted that.
Yeah, maybe we can get him to retweet. We're gonna have to post again, and maybe we can make something happen. Because I'm telling you that's making history right there. That song is pretty damn good.
Thanks, man. I
You know what we
appreciate
need to
it.
do? What we need to do is we need to have like a party with all the Litecoin boys and all the people with Litecoin.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but maybe even virtual, or it would be sick, dude, if it was in person and we just literally play that thing, like just blast the freaking speakers, just
Absolutely.
everyone with their drinks, listening to Litecoin boys. Cheers, man. So we're gonna make that happen.
All right. It's over the
That finishes
internet
my
or in
drink.
person. We'll figure it out.
All right, guys. Take care. We're gonna end this broadcast right now.